What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 183, and this is going to be the week 3 review. And I'd personally like to apologize to Frank Bucco and Mike Haber because we just worked a trade right before this podcast launched. So,
hi guys.
hey guys, how's it going? Jason is with me as always, man. How are you doing this week, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm catching my breath from a Wild Mets win that shouldn't have been so wild, but a win's a win's a win. So I'm happy, and
Absolutely.
I gotta win this week too. So I'm happy.
Got it off the schneid. He's in the win column for the first time this season. Good job, Jason.
Yes.
Let's talk about week 3 and the week that was. We have a new man sitting atop the totem pole that is our standings. Henry Collins is now the number 1 team in the league. Amazing week.
Yeah, it really is. And I tell you what, I was looking. I mean, I get 3 weeks, but I'm looking at the standings, and it just looks weird right now. Like I don't know. It just like okay, Josh is in second, but like. I mean, Mike is at fourth. Like you and Ben are down in the middle of the pack. It's a bit weird right now. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's a fun experience when the first few weeks happen and you get to jump around all of the time based on your win or your loss. So
Yeah, and look, I mean, Adams down in the 16th spot, only 15 and a half games back. So like, it's not like anything here. Like it's still very much early.
no doubt. No doubt. Let's dive into this thing, my friend, and let's start with the matchup between the guy who was in first place last week and our commissioner. It's Josh Haber taking a 12-7 loss to Ben Nisman. What'd you see here this week, my friend?
Yeah, that's like I I, I don't want to call it an upset because it is Ben, but I think Ben's got to be pretty happy about this one. I would have to imagine.
He's happy. He's a little disappointed that he didn't actually make it bigger than it was, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But on Sunday, Josh flipped the home runs by a hitter and tied runs to draw a little bit closer and make it 12-7. It was 14-6 going in. Close categories, Ben wins by 2 walks, a loss, a walk by a pitcher, thanks to Brennan Bernardino on Sunday, who came in and gave up his first walk of the season. Brennan Bernardino losing that category for Josh. Josh wins by the home run and the stolen base, and they tied in runs and triples. For Benji on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 35. That's a 171 batting average with 4 runs that would have won the category, a double, a home run that would have won the category, 2 RBIs, a stolen base that would have tied the category, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Buxton on Sunday alone wins runs and ties home runs. But Josh played one hell of a bluff on Sunday, and Ben at the last minute is picking guys and throwing them into his lineup because he realizes Josh ain't sitting his guys. And the one guy that he couldn't get to in time before the start of the game is Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton was ineditable because the game started, and lo and behold, he hits a home run.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah,
That is extremely rough.
that's oh gosh, that would have made a lot of difference.
No doubt. No doubt. For Ben's moves this week, he added Max Kepler, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Sean Armstrong, Daysbel Hernandez, Ian Jabot, Max Kepler again, Scott Barlow, Leody Taveras, 1 for 3 with a 2-run double. Bryce Elder, who had a no decision but was bad over 5 innings, and finished it out with Luis Angel Acuna, 2 for 4 with a run and a double, and Key Brian Hayes, 2 for 5 with an RBI and a strikeout. He used all 10. His MVP this week is Bryce Harper with a shout out to Luis Ariz, who's now on the IL. But Bryce Harper for the week, 320 with a 469 on base, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, a steal, 7 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter, no doubt, is Brandon fucking Nimmo 105 with a 105, a run, an RBI, and 4 strikeouts. This guy is an absolute mess right now, dude.
Yeah, and every once in a while he'll put up he'll give a good hit. You go, okay, maybe he's turning the corner, and then he just goes on another like 0 for 7. Like that's
Yeah.
not helping.
And this speaks more to the situation in Ben's outfield as a whole right now. He's playing Nimmo and a cast of characters around him because that's kind of all he has. Byron Buxton appears to be a piece going forward. Alex Verdugo gave him a 4 for 5 this week, which is amazing. But his outfield for the week hit 220. So he's looking and searching for dudes that are going to be playing out there with him.
Yeah, and he had it this week with Leody Taveras and Starlin Marte and Winker and Andujar. Like I see he's trying to find the right equation. Is maybe Verdugo hitting the off of the Braves is a good step, but yeah, he needs Nimmo to turn it on.
No doubt. He needs to be the centerpiece of this outfield, and he's just not doing that right now.
Yeah.
The Cy Young is Christopher Sanchez, 7 innings, a win, a bomb, a walk, 12 strikeouts, a 2.57 and an 0.71. The Cy Young goes to, oh my God, Tanner Houck. 2 1/3, a loss, 2 bombs, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 42.43. That is correct, a 42.43 ERA, and a 5.14 WHIP. Ew.
And that's without throwing him on Sunday, which he pitched really well on Sunday, but I get after that not wanting to throw him. So yeah, that's yuck.
Yeah, no doubt. For Josh on his bench, he goes 1 for 4 with a run that would have won the category and a strikeout. It's a Cam Smith on the bench with Ahmed Rosario in the doubleheader out in Colorado, who went 0 for 4. So
yeah, I get it.
You made the play. The play didn't work.
Yep. I probably would have done something similar, but yeah, just one of those things.
Yeah. For his moves this week, looks like he used 9 of them. He got Framber Valdez, Matt Shaw, and Francisco Alvarez in the trade with you for Donovan Pivetta and Herrera. How do you like it now a week in?
I mean, it's only been a week, and honestly, even after the first day, I was loving it because Framber Valdez was really bad, and Matt Shaw was demoted to AAA. Francisco Alvarez sounds like they're going to continue him on his rehab assignment for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan just keeps on hitting. Nick Pivetta pitched really well. So right now, a week later, I'm really happy with it. Talk to me in 6 months and
we'll see. We'll see how the season finishes out, but once the catchers come back, we'll get probably a more clear picture on this trade.
Exactly.
He added Brennan Hanafy, who was optioned after an inning and a third. Jared Kelnick, Tyler Ferguson, Gavin Lux, Matt Brash on the IL. Taijuan Walker, 4 innings, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and left with shoulder stiffness. That sucks. And on Sunday, added Drake Baldwin, 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer, and Ahmed Rosario, the 0 for 4 we talked about. His MVP this week goes to Schwarber, Horner, one of those two guys.
Yeah. I mean, Schwarber had the counting stats, and Horner had more than average. So
Juan Soto also did things for him. 269 with a 333, 2 homers and 8 RBIs.
Yeah, I need him to do more. We need him to do more. That's not $700 million worth.
It's not $800 million worth of production for a week. I mean, listen, if he does this every single week, he's going to be prolific. So
yeah, true. I mean, he's once the weather starts warming up, he'll
get better. The least valuable hitter goes to Jose Altuve, 261 with a 261, a run, a double, and 5 strikeouts. Nothing on the counting stats. Just nothing.
No. Nothing that mattered.
Nope. The Cy Young once again goes to Mackenzie Gore. I think this is the second time this season we're saying his name. 6 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 3 and a 1. And the Cy Young goes to Framber Valdez, who was terrible. 4 innings, a loss, a walk, 3 strikeouts, a 15.75 and a 2.75.
He also was better on Sunday. Not great. 3 walks with 2 strikeouts, but it was better. But he didn't throw him on Sunday, so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to see what Benjamin cooks up this year for his outfield because he always has an interesting piece in Charlie Blackmon, always just sitting out there, and you could play him pretty much every day. Not this year. He's got to find some new pieces.
No, yeah, yeah. Look, again, it's only week 3. I'm sure there'll be somebody that will, and he'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be just fine. Josh is sitting pretty at the top there, and he's not. He's going to take this loss like a man and just move on to the next week.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any worries about Josh. I mean, look, he what was it for? What was it? 14-6 before Sunday, turned that into
Mm-hmm.
12. So, nothing to hang your head on there.
Not at all. Not at all. Taking a loss is like a man is what we have to do in this league, and I had to do it this week against Henry Collins, man. 14-6 is the final of my matchup with Henry. On Sunday, Henry flipped walks by a hitter. What did I have? 29 walks and didn't win the damn category? 29 walks. I can't win the category.
No, because he had 30.
Exactly. But I did flip whip, so the score stays exactly the same. 14-6 coming in, 14-6 going out. Close categories, Henry wins by 3 runs, 2 doubles, a walk, a loss, 2 home runs by a pitcher, and 8 ticks on the ERA. Again, I pitched to a 3 ERA and can't win?
Right. I mean, both of you pitched amazing.
Yeah. My close categories, 2 home runs, 2 errors, and 9 ticks on the whip. We tied in triples. For Henry on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 36. That's an even 250 with 8 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 4 RBIs, 3 steals, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays.
Beautiful.
I know he was pretty upset about a Stephen Kwan play over Kyle Farmer midweek, and I said, you're not even going to worry about that by the time the week's over. And here we are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's gonna be a footnote on this stomping.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. His moves this week, he did use all 10. He added Huascar Brazoban for 2 innings, Osvaldo Beto for a good start, 5 2/3 and a win.
No strikeouts.
No strikeouts. That's what that is. I thought I just wrote okay, like as
yeah, okay, with no strikeouts.
Yeah, it was an okay start. No, he had 0 strikeouts. He added Ronnie Henriquez for a bad relief appearance, Ryan Thompson for a bad relief appearance, Luis Ortiz 5 innings and a win with 8 strikeouts in Pittsburgh, Nick Mears for a bad relief appearance, Jose Trevino goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs, a double, and a walk because fuck me, that guy needed to just do that right in my lap. And then finishes it out with Adrian Morihone, David Festa, and Chad Patrick, the final 2 being after the bell for Monday. His MVP this week is a 3-headed monster, Vlad, Chapman, and Yelich. Huh, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, they all week it looks like they just wore you down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vlad 316 with a 519 on base percentage. He had 8 walks and a homer, 3 RBIs. Matt Chapman had a 516 on base percentage because he had 7 walks, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and 2 steals. And Yelich was 429 with a 529, the highest on base percentage of all of them, with 3 walks, a homer, 5 RBIs, and a stolen base. Like, he had a ridiculous week.
Yeah. If those 3, when you have like 3 guys like that just tearing the cover off the ball like that in 1 week, what can you do?
Yeah. The only thing he didn't have was a catcher worth a damn because he had to stream Jose Trevino for his 3 for 4. Keibert Ruiz is the least valuable hitter, a 143 with a 143, an RBI, and 4 strikeouts. Oh no, His catcher didn't fucking hit this week.
I mean, but he's had a decent year. He's batting over 300, but just not a good week. So he went with Trevino, and it worked out.
Of course it did. Of course it did. You know who else worked out was Max Fried. He was absolutely amazing on Sunday, but 14 1/3 with 2 wins, a homer, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 1.26 and an 0.77. He made it interesting. He's the reason that he won ERA with the shutout performance on Sunday because I pitched my balls off on Sunday. I tried really hard to get there and just couldn't.
Yeah. 9 strikeouts in 14 1/3 innings isn't great, but
no.
But he was terrific.
He was every bit the ace that he needs him to be, without question.
Yeah.
The Cy Yuck goes to Ronnie Henriquez or any one of the bad relief appearances that showed up here.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
nobody
nobody
poorly.
was
Like,
bad.
it
Nobody
was
was
just
bad.
yeah. But I mean, like you said, both of you pitched to a sub-3 ERA, so you're really kind of nitpicking at a Cy Yuck there.
Yeah, no doubt. For me on my bench this week, I went 8 for 47. That is a 170 batting average, 5 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 7 walks, 17 strikeouts, and an error. I had 29 walks in my lineup and somehow still benched 7 more and lost the category by 1.
By 1, yeah.
Insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I used 8 ads this week. I added Joel Payamps. It's not a waste. I was trying to get him into the one game that he was supposed to get into before his day off, and then pitched him out for Calvin Fauché. It was a clean relief appearance. Added Brandon Little, same reason. Tried to get him into a ball game. He didn't get in. Oh well, move on. Added Ben Lively, 5 1/3 and a win with nothing earned. Anthony Bonda, we'll go with Evan Phillips instead for a clean relief appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally on Sunday, I said I pitched my ass off. I added Logan Henderson, who was fantastic, and Jamison Tyon, who was fantastic in the rain.
Yeah, I had we'll talk about it, but I had the other guy in that game.
You had the other side of that?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Uh,
but I benched him because I didn't going on with that weather and I didn't want to, have a 1 inning start or something like that.
yeah. The MVP this week is the guy I just traded away, Spencer Torkelson, who went 240 with a 355, 4 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He has been torrid to start the season.
Yeah, and I am hoping to God that he continues this and that I'm not gonna get 170 for the rest of the year.
I hope not, man. I really hope not. I hope it's a good one for you. My least valuable hitter goes to Isaac Paredes, who was 0 for 14. So I benched him one day and he went 2 for 3, and then he didn't get a hit the rest of the week when I put him back in. So doing great at third base.
Cool.
So no average with a 150 on base, an RBI, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young this week is Logan Webb and Logan Henderson. Logan Webb was absolutely fantastic. 6 innings and a loss, 12 strikeouts, a 150 and an 067. Logan Henderson, the streamer that I threw out there, 6 innings, a win, a bomb, a walk, 9 strikeouts, a 150 and an 067. Those guys were fantastic.
Yeah. But it sucks that Webb got the loss and Henderson's going back to AAA.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have room for him with Tobias Myers coming back because they need to get other random, number generated starter into the lineup now.
Yeah.
Tobias Myers.
Tyler Alexander gets a spot instead of okay.
Yeah. I don't know. My Cy Young goes to Max Kranick, who was an inning and 2/3 with a bomb, a strikeout, a 1080, and a 240. Oh well, it was a relief appearance. That's all I needed.
Yeah, and really good for us for the Mets anyway. So it's all right.
Yeah, congratulations, Henry. Take a picture. You're atop the standings, man.
Yeah. We've said it for the last couple of years now that this is a guy who could really threaten, to be, a guy to sit on top of the standings for a bit. So I love seeing it, and I hope he comfortable up there.
Yeah, no doubt. Make yourself comfortable. Get a big lead. Hell, get one of these buys this year and really put your name out there as a future champion of this league. Go for it, Henry. I'm
Yeah,
rooting for you, man.
I love it.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. We've got Mike Haber taking on Chris Levy, and Mike Haber getting a 10-8 win. On Sunday, it looks like Chris closed the gap quite a bit. He tied walks by a batter and flipped losses. Mike took a loss on Sunday to draw this thing close.
Yeah, not again it's another rough Sunday. It was Ryan Walker who blew the save in Anaheim, and that got him the loss that flipped that category.
Just a nasty Nasty situation there.
Yeah.
For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 19. That is a 316 batting average. Oh, I'm sorry. Close categories. Let's do that. Close categories. Mike wins by the triple, 3 saves and 3 home runs by a pitcher. Chris wins by a stolen base, 2 errors, a loss, and 4 ticks on the whip. They tied in home runs, RBIs, and walks.
3 categories that you don't usually see tied in together in 1 week.
Yeah, just a crazy trio of categories that they tied together. So for Mike on the bench, again, 6 for 19. That's a 316 batting average. 4 runs, 3 homers that would have won the category, 5 RBIs that would have won the category, a stolen base that would have tied the category, and 3 walks that would have won the category with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Cedric Mullins looks like he had a big day on Tuesday.
Yeah, I look, Collins and Pete Crow Armstrong, both guys center field eligible only. Both of them are playing very well right now. It's a crapshoot. I guess you go by your gut by the lineup, but you never know.
Yeah, no idea. Day to day, you have to assess each matchup. Unfortunately, that's the one that gets highlighted here. Mike used 3 ads this week. He added Louis Varland, Abner Uribe off of waivers, and Gavin Lux after the game started. And that Gavin Lux ad got him a very nasty text message from one Ben Nisman, who is now in need of a second baseman and was looking at Gavin Lux.
I was looking at getting him back too. I dropped him because he stopped hitting for a bit, but he's back on a tear again. That game on Sunday when the Reds put up 24 runs, he scored 4 of them. So yeah, the good pickup. I think he's gonna sit for Mike for a while.
Yeah. His MVP this week, once again, is the polar bear, Pete Alonso, 400 with a 500 on base percentage, 4 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The triple, I think, was on Sunday or Saturday.
It was like I think it was Friday. It was it was probably the funniest triple you'll ever watch. Like if you watch him run from between second and third.
Oh, he is chugging.
I mean, he's giving me all that, but you know what? I love it, and I'm looking at an MVP for this guy this year.
Nice, my friend. I hope it happens. Brandon Lau is the least valuable hitter this week for Mike, 154 with a 214, a run, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to, I'm not really sure. Well, let's find out. He pitched to a 4.23 ERA.
Yeah, he didn't pitch terribly, but like nobody was great. Like everybody was just okay. Like
yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like
you
most
know,
of the starters were just pedestrian. The relievers were good, except for Ryan Walker's blown save.
Right, and so that gets him the Cy Young.
Right. So he gets a blown save in an inning and a third, a loss, a homer, a walk, a strikeout, a 27 and a 3.75.
Yeah, but like everybody else was just kind of mediocre. It was a lot of mediocrity in this rotation today. I mean, Landon Rauch got 5 innings in a win, 8 strikeouts, but a 7.20. So, yeah, it was just a very weird pitching week.
Yeah, just a strange week for Mike. I would give the Cy Young to the bullpen minus Ryan Walker.
There you go. I like
it. For Chris on his bench this week, he goes 5 for 17. That's a 295 batting average with 3 runs, a double, 4 RBIs that would have won the category, a steal, a walk that would have won the category, 3 strikeouts and an error. Looks like the RBI and walk. Well, on Monday he had Brian Hayes and too many third base guys in the lineup. Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean he had Brian Hayes, he had Rafael Devers, and he has Austin Riley. So you're not gonna get all 3 of those guys in the lineup at the same time. So it was Brian Hayes on the bench, and there was nowhere to put him.
He has since dropped him. So for his moves this week, he added Landon Knack, who was okay in against Colorado. Added Cameron Misner, Luis Angel Acuna, Jose Quintana for a good start against Detroit. Zach Littell for a loss, but a good start against Boston. Griffin Canning was fantastic against St. Louis. Tomoyuki Sugano was even better against Cincinnati. Colt Keith, IKF, Caleb Ferguson. Looks like we're just rounding out the bullpen there at the end. His MVP this week, who the hell else is it but Aaron Judge? I mean, it's probably going to be Aaron Judge more times than it won't be this year. 462 with a 533 on base, 4 runs, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. This team is going to be carried by Aaron Judge this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like his actual team. But like, yeah, there's no question. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if all some odd weeks we're saying Aaron Judge is the MVP of this team. Like it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
But I mean, other guys hit well too. Jake Mangum hit really well. Ryan O'Hearn hit really well. Even Austin Riley bounced back, minus the 10 strikeouts. But like, there were some good things happening elsewhere in this lineup, but it all centers around Aaron Judge.
No doubt. No doubt. His least valuable hitter is going to Heimer Candelario, 083 with a 214 on base, 2 runs, a bomb, an RBI, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. His Cy Young this week goes to Griffin Canning and Clay Holmes. 2 Metsies had fantastic starts. Clay Holmes, 5 innings, 1 earned, and a win with 8 strikeouts. Griffin Canning is still on the team. 6 innings, a win, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 150, and an 083.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it. Hey.
And he's got Tyler McGill, who
just pitched another great game today.
Yeah. All right. The Cy Young goes to Aaron Nola, who did not pitch well tonight against our Mets. He didn't pitch well this past week either. 5 1/3, a loss, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 10-13, and a 244. He has not been off to a very good start.
No, it's been a rough go. Yeah, I mean, this was his longest outing tonight, 6 1/3, but it wasn't good. And he's at a 6.65 ERA for the season. So yeah, and this is year 2 of that massive contract he signed with them.
Right. He's got a long way to go on that contract, and he's only 31, so he's not going anywhere. I'm sure he's going to have many more years to go, but just this one is not good.
It's not looking good so far, but it is only April, so lots of time to right the ship.
Plenty of time. All right, let's move on to our next matchup here, which is going to be Costas Paragas taking on Adam Lowenstein. And Costas gets himself an 11-7 win this week. On Sunday, Adam tied RBIs and untied stolen bases, but lost errors, walks by a pitcher, and whip. 3 steals on a Sunday by Adam to win that category, by the way.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Nicely done indeed. Close categories this week. Costas wins by an error, a win, 2 saves, 4 strikeouts, and 4 ticks on the whip. Adam wins by those 3 stolen bases, and they tied in triples, RBIs, and walks by a pitcher. For Costas on his bench, he goes 2 for 17. That's a 118 batting average with a run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. None of it plays.
No, why would it?
He's doing really well this year. I have to give Costas his flowers right here. He's doing incredibly well so far this year.
He's sitting in 3rd place right now. Like again, this is what I'm talking about. Like with the way that the standings are at this very moment. Like seeing Costas in 3rd place, Sherman in 5th place. Like this is cool. I like this.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
For Costas' moves this week, he added 5 of them. Edward Julian 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Tyler Anderson with a 6 innings and a win with 6 strikeouts against San Francisco. He added Gabriel Arias, Carson Kelly with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. What?
Yeah, that was that crazy game. Where the Diamondbacks scored 8 runs and then they scored 6 runs and won it. But that was that crazy game. He picked him up for that game, and he goes 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Incredible.
Good job, Costas. He added Joey Cantillo, which was a waste. It never came in. His MVP this week is going to be Alec Boehm. Alec Boehm had a good week this week. 286 with a 310, 4 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 RBIs, a stolen base, 3 strikeouts, and an error. That's a very nice week.
Yeah.
His least valuable hitter is Teoscar Hernandez, who hit 167 with a 167, a double, an RBI, and 3 strikeouts. Just a very pedestrian week from Teo.
Yeah, I know he missed a couple days with an illness, but he had a rough week.
Yep. His Cy Young this week is everybody on his roster, and his Cy Young is nobody because Costas threw to a 0.90 ERA. It is the 3rd or 4th lowest in the history of the league. and he did it over 60 innings.
That is ridiculous. And he lost innings, but that is ridiculous. Like a sub 1 ERA, just barely over 1 whip
Mm-hmm.
in 60 innings.
Absolutely an unbelievable week from Costas. And
Yeah.
it goes to show you that you can pitch out of your mind and still only squeak out an 11-7 win.
Yeah, right. But like you're falling into like Andrew Heaney throwing 7 1/3 shutout innings that he's probably never done in his life before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like that just doesn't happen. Tyler Anderson 6 innings shutout. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It just a crazy, crazy good week, and Costas nailed every single one of those ads.
Yep. Yep.
For Adam on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 20. That's a 150 batting average with 3 runs, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs that would have won the category, 5 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Only one ad this week. He adds Joey Wentz for Jorge Lopez. And his MVP is Sal Frelick. Sal Frelick. Really? This guy?
Yeah.
400 with a 500, 4 runs, a double, a triple, a homer, an RBI, 3 stolen bases, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Yeah. Okay.
That's a week. And the 2 of those stolen bases came on Sunday. That was part of his 3 steals on Sunday that won him that category. So
Sal Frelick has 7 stolen bases and is hitting 342.
yeah. Yeah. And he's playing every day. Who knew?
Where the hell did this guy come from?
And Bobby drafted him in the 26th round, dropped him, and he ends up on Adam's team and is just killing it.
Good scoop, Adam. Good scoop
Yeah.
indeed. The least valuable hitter is another good scoop he had a couple of weeks ago. Kyron Paris, 167 with a 167 and 4 strikeouts. Maybe he's cooked, but he did get a couple of good weeks out of the guy.
Yeah, and maybe there's still something there. I mean, the Angels have no reason not to play him, so he's gonna play. Maybe he's just going through a cold stretch and he'll figure it out.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Yusei Kikuchi despite 4 walks on a Sunday. He threw 11 1/3 with a loss, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts, an 0.79 and a 124. I kind of poo-pooed Kikuchi getting picked up by the Angels this offseason. I kind of thought it was a mid-move. And I stand by it.
Yeah, but like he had a good week. But the walks, so Adam walked 8 guys on Sunday, and that's what made this from a 10-9 to an 11-7 because those walks flipped walks and whip, and Kikuchi had 4 of those walks just by himself. So
gross.
Yeah, so not a great Sunday, but a good week overall.
Yeah, who didn't have a good week? Easton Lucas. He was fucking awful. 6 2/3, 2 losses, 5 bombs, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, an 18.90 ERA, and a 2.85 WHIP, and a trip back to Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing him for a while.
I doubt it.
Yeah, those are some ugly outings against the Braves and the Mariners. Yeah, not pretty.
Not pretty at all. But again, shout out to Costas. He's doing great. And Adam is not sunk yet. He's got plenty of time left. And he's going to dig out of this.
Yeah. Again, like the way the standings are right now here on April 21st is not how they're going to be in September. So, nobody panic.
No need to panic yet. No need to panic. Just like you did not panic after your first 2 weeks, sir. And you come back this week, get a very nice 13-6 win. Congratulations, sir.
Well, thank you. Yeah. It could have been a little bit bigger. I was hoping for a little bit bigger. It was bigger. And then Sunday was just Easter Sunday. I'm sitting at my brother's house on the app, just watching Whip just oscillate back and forth between the two of us, going, where's it going to land? Where's it going to land? And I did end up keeping it, but we'll go through it.
Okay. On Sunday, Jimmy got 2 steals and a very late triple to tie those. A late triple. Who did it come from?
Mickey Moniak. He picks up Mickey Moniak Sunday morning for the doubleheader. against the Nationals on Sunday, with the night game, with the second game being late Sunday,
Mm.
and he went like 0 for 5 in the first game, and they still played him in the second game, and I think he missed he got out his first two at bats, and I'm like, cool. Didn't even look at it. Before I know it, I turned back on the app, and he hit a triple. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even know that he could do that.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Uh, Close categories this week, Jason. You won by 3 runs, an error, 2 wins, a save, 2 home runs by a pitcher, and 2 ticks on the whip. Jimmy didn't win anything close. I mean, maybe the 5 relief appearances, but that's about it.
Yep.
And you guys tied in triples and stolen bases. On your bench this week, sir, you went 2 for 12. That's a 167 batting average with a run and 4 walks. Nothing plays. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Like I said, I did have Merrill Kelly on the bench for that start against the D-backs. I was going back and forth because I did start Skubal on Sunday and I did start Verlander on Sunday. But I kind of felt pretty good that I was going to walk away with most of the pitching categories. Even, I was letting Jimmy have the innings. But the whip kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it felt just right. I'm kind of glad I didn't start Merrill Kelly.
Good job. Good job not starting that guy. You used all 10 ads this week. We talked about the trade that brought you Brendan Donovan, Nick Pivetta, and Ivan Herrera. You added Ben Brown off of waivers, who was serviceable but not lasting long enough, just like my bedroom experiences, against the D-backs. You added Brooks Lee and Christopher Morel off of waivers. Christopher Morel was a very nice ad. I'm surprised that you ended up dropping him today.
Yeah, I've always wanted to keep him, but he just strikes out way too much, and he's not getting the consistent playing time on the Rays. I liked him for the power potential in that ballpark, but I couldn't keep up with the strikeouts. Brooks Lee, I dropped, I I dropped him,
Mm.
and then that was when the Mets were in Minnesota, and he comes in for Carlos Correa and hits a home run. That's the day after I dropped him. I'm like,
Great.
great, great.
Great. You added Merrill Kelly, 6 innings, a win, a walk, 9 strikeouts in Miami. You added Bobby Miller, who was terrible. Edward Cabrera, who was also bad. Pavin Smith, who was your first baseman until recently when you traded for Spencer Torkelson.
Yep.
Justin Verlander was pretty good in his start at LA, and added Nick Kurtz and Josh Smith off of waivers. Josh Smith off of waivers.
Yeah, and then Josh texted me saying, "Stop stealing my Smiths," because he dropped Pavin Smith and he dropped Josh Smith, and I got both of them, and I actually both paid off. I mean, Josh Smith went 3 for 4 on Sunday, and Pavin Smith had a couple of big hits for me late in the week too. So I'm happy with that. And now Nick Kurtz is coming up for the A's, so I'm gonna have to figure out that with Torkelson, but that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a mess at first base now.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with Tristan Casas either. So if anybody needs a first baseman, I might try and figure that out.
Now is the time to go get Jason's first baseman if you believe in them. Your MVP this week is Brendan Donovan. He hit 370 with a 393 on base, 6 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and 2 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is Christopher Morel. We talked about him. 063 with a 167 on base, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Not a great performance from him.
Yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Skubal because, of course, it does. 12 innings, a win, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 150, and a 1 whip. The Cy Young goes to, oh, hey, friend Jordan Romano. How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, you know what? If I ever pick up him again, just like slap me silly. So that I'm in the grocery store watching this, going, what the fuck just happened with Jordan Romano? Like, he gets up a 3-run home run, and they're like, yeah, let's just keep him out there and let him give up 3 more runs. That's cool. So yeah, that's why Whip became so close, because of that one outing.
Yeah, he had 2 relief outings, an inning and 2/3, 2 bombs, a strikeout, a 32.40 ERA, and a 360 on the whip.
Yeah. I mean, and like that Saturday was just awful. Two home runs, 81 and a nine. Like that nine whip is what made whip so much closer than it should have been.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's gross. He doesn't have it anymore. Bye bye.
No, no. And it goes to say, we say this a lot, how volatile, that position is, the relievers and the closers. Like Jordan Romano was one of the top closers in baseball, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, yeah. And now he's waiver wire fodder.
Yeah.
For Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes 7 for 38. That's a 184 batting average with 2 runs, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 16 strikeouts. And none of that plays. Well
Hmm.
done. Well done. He used 9 ads this week. He added Greg Weissert, Gabe Spires, Lance McCullers Jr. for Justin Steele, who is done for the season. And Lance McCullers Jr. is finally on the way back after what feels like 8 seasons out of baseball.
Yeah, he feels like the kind of guy though who's gonna throw like three pitches and then be out again. Like
Yeah.
you just feel that, right?
Yep. Yep. He dropped Ryan Pepio after a terrible start against the Yankees at home for Andre Palante, who was bad against our Mets. He added Greg Weissert back for a bad relief appearance. Added Luke Keeschel. Is that how we're pronouncing that? Keeschel?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that. But
Okay.
I actually thought about picking him up, but I wanted to see how much playing time he was going to get with the Twins. But he's got some interesting eligibility, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. He went 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI on the bench. He added Tyler Kinley, Ryan Pepio back, and Mickey Moniak for the triple on Sunday. His
Yeah,
MVP this week goes to not Kyle Seager. I do this every time. It's still Corey Seager.
it is.
429 with a 500 on base, 2 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and an error. The least valuable hitter goes to Luis Rengifo with a shout out to Jake Berger, but Rengifo was awful. 150 with a 150, 3 RBIs, 4 strikeouts, 2 errors. Terrible week for that guy.
Yeah, that's not good.
The Cy Young goes to Tyler Molly, who has been a very nice pickup along the way here. 13 innings, a win, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks, nothing earned, and an 0.77 whip. The Cy Young goes to Taj Bradley, who was very bad. Is it Taj Bradley? Yeah, five
It
and a
is. Yep.
third, a loss, a homer, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 10-13, and a 244.
Yeah. Jimmy has the cojones to throw Tyler Mahle on Sunday against the Dodgers and ends up being a 1-0 win for the Dodgers, but he didn't get credit for the loss. He was just absolutely remarkable against the Dodgers. Like I saw him, I was like, really? You're gonna throw Tyler Mahle against the Dodgers? You're gonna throw Tyler Mahle against the Dodgers. Okay, cool. We're doing this. And so I had to throw Verlander against the Angels, and luckily that worked out.
Yeah. And fortunately for him, Molly was absolutely amazing against the Dodgers. It was a hell of a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
incredible. Him and Yamamoto.
Yeah. I don't foresee either one of you having a problem fighting for the playoffs. So good luck to you with Spencer Torkelson, sir. Thank you for Mason Miller.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm again. I am hoping if everything I got that this is the real Torkelson, and we're gonna see another 35 home runs and something big out of him. But we'll see.
Yeah, best of luck to you, my friend. Let's move on to the next matchup, and it is Mike Sherman getting a 10-8 win over Cody Pyatt.
Yeah, Cody, my opponent this week, so I'm hoping he's not gonna be out for revenge.
Yeah. On Sunday, Cody gave up 4 home runs, and Sherman took a 9-8 lead to 10-8. Close categories this week, Cody wins by the home run, Sherman by 2 wins and 2 saves, and they tied in triples, errors, and losses. I would certainly like to tie in errors and losses every single week. That would be just fine.
Right? That feels good.
Yeah. That way I'm not ever losing that category.
Yeah.
For Sherman on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 37. That's a 297 batting average, 11 runs, 3 doubles, 3 homers that would have won the category, 7 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Looks like he used 2, 4, 5 ads this week. He added Hobie Milner, Tim Hill for a 2-inning win in a relief appearance. Caleb Durbin, a 2 for 4 with a run on the bench, and that kid was traded for Devin Williams, so I think he's going to get some run here.
He is. He's gonna be the third baseman for a while. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you mean they're not going with Vinny Capra anymore?
No, or who was the other Joker that they were putting out there? I don't remember his name.
Oliver Dunn.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he's done too. Jake Irvin and Charlie Morton were added on Sunday, and they were not good.
No, no, they were not.
No, they were very, very bad. The MVP this week goes to Francisco Lindor. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. He had 2 homers tonight. As for last week, he went 323 with a 364, 5 runs, a double, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and an error. The least valuable hitter goes to Josh Young, 130 with a 130 on base, a run, a double, and 8 strikeouts. With you know what? There's a shout out to Cody Bellinger, I assume, is the answer here.
Yes, not Cody Pyatt.
Not Cody Pyatt. 111 with the 211 on base. Yeah, that was a bad week for Cody Bellinger, too.
Yeah.
His Cy Young goes to Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. 6 innings, a win, a homer, a walk, 11 strikeouts, a 150 and an 050. Seth Lugo threw 13 and a third, but gave up 5 bombs, so that's not very good at all. Is that a
Kumar Rocker was decent finally. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, and a win.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Charlie Morton, 2 and a third, a loss, a bomb, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 27 and a 471. He pitched in that game where the Cincinnati Reds scored 24 runs.
Yeah. Can we stop with Charlie Morton? Like,
I stopped with Charlie Morton 3 years ago.
I don't think I ever started with Charlie Morton. Yeah, like I'd rather have Bartolo Colon on my team right now than Charlie Morton. Like, no more.
No. I'd rather have Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 10 for 46. That's a 217 batting average. 7 runs that would have won the category. 3 doubles, a homer. 5 RBIs, a steal. 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. He used 9 ads this week. He added Chris Martin off of waivers and Ryan Stanek. Kyle Stowers off of waivers, who went 0 for 4 with a strikeout. And Jorge Soler.
I dropped him, though, and I wanted to get him back, and Cody got him. And I think this kid is going to – he hit a home run tonight. This kid might be pretty good for Miami.
Mm-hmm. He added Jorge Soler. He added Tyler Fitzgerald, who was amazing, 3 for 5 with 2 runs, a double, and RBI.
After I dropped him.
After you dropped him, of course.
Of course.
Chase Dolander, who didn't start him for his horrible start on Saturday, so good job not doing that. Ryan Nelson was terrible, 5 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Ew.
That's gross. The new Billy Hamilton, Chandler Simpson. That's right. Remember that name. 1 for 5, a run, a double, and an RBI on the bench, and finally finished it out with Logan Allen against Pittsburgh on Sunday.
So, but then he dropped Chandler Simpson. So, like, yeah, he's like, I don't know what this kid's gonna be, like, but like, I feel like he's gonna be around a lot of teams this year.
Yeah, I get the feeling like he's going to be streamed for people who are looking for steals late.
Yeah, like a Terrence Gore kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The MVP goes to Cal Raleigh this week, the namesake. 259 with a 355 on base, 5 runs, a double, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, a steal. Wow.
Yeah.
4 walks and 10 strikeouts. No, you don't see Cal Raleigh stealing bases.
He has 3.
What?
In a month, he has 3.
That's insane. Vinny Pasquantino is the least valuable hitter, 148 with a 207, a run, a double, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. On the season, I don't think Vinny's doing very well.
He's not. He's hitting under 200 with just 2 homers and 14 RBIs.
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
it's not good. He's gonna be
all other than Witt, none of the Royals are really hitting all that well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Jacob deGrom. Fantastic start from him this week. 7 innings and a loss, a homer, a walk, 7 strikeouts, a 1.29 and an 0.57. Is he going to stay healthy all year? Is this a real thing?
I'm hoping so. I mean, like we say how like the bigs is better when Sherman and Ari are competitive. Baseball's better when Jacob deGrom is healthy and pitching like Jacob deGrom. So I hope so. I really do.
The Cy Young goes to Ryan Nelson. Again, 5 earned runs over 2/3 of an inning. He did strike out both guys to get those outs, so that's a plus.
Yeah, to go with the 67-50 and the 9 whip. Good job.
Yeah, yeah. I want Sherman to stay competitive this year. God damn it! I demand that this happen.
Yeah. Look again. I mean, 5 ads is good, and maybe this happens. Maybe this happens. He's sitting in 5th place right now. Like, you know, I, I don't know. I don't know. I want to see it too. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it very badly. All right, let's move on to the penultimate matchup. It is the matchup between Frank Bucco. Hi, Frank. Welcome to the program. And Ari Nisman goes to a 9-9 tie after all of this on Sunday. What a wild, wild Sunday. For reference, it was 13-5 going in Frank's favor. And it ends up 9-9. On
This is the
Sunday, Ari
second straight week that Ari like just had a balls out Sunday that fucked somebody over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Sunday, Ari tied triples, untied walks by a hitter, and Frank committed an error to tie that category. Untied wins, and there's your 4 categories that all flipped.
Yeah. Yeah. Just absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. Close categories this week. Frank wins by a home run, 4 strikeouts by a hitter, a save, a home run by a pitcher, 3 ticks on the whip, and 2 relief appearances. Ari wins by 4 runs, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk by a batter, and 2 wins. They tied in triples, errors, and losses. Again,
there you go.
Always trying to tie those categories. For Frank on his bench, he goes 6 for 24. That's a 250 batting average with 2 runs, 3 doubles to tie the category. Would have had to be perfect there. A home run, an RBI, 3 walks that would have won the category, and 8 strikeouts that would have won him the category or lost him the category had he gotten them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 moves this week. He adds Kyle Leahy, Ryan Barucki, Austin Hayes, who hit a 2-run homer for him, and Bennett Souza, who did not pitch. Bennett Souza was a Hail Mary last-minute ditch effort to try to get strikeouts back.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Because Dylan Cease was on the mound for Ari on Sunday, and Frank just didn't. Frank benched most of his pitchers, and then Ari just came out and dropped it on Sunday with the strikeouts. So, yeah. Frank's MVP this week is Austin Hayes. He added him on Wednesday, and he still had a monster week. 421 with a 476 on base, 5 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Yordan Alvarez, surprisingly enough. 118 with a 158, a run, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. You just want to see him get on base a little bit more and hit a little bit better.
Yeah, especially when you're hitting around guys like Altuve and Paredes, like be on base. But everybody on this team did something. But like even Mike Trout, like he only hit at 150 with 11 strikeouts, but he had 2 home runs and a steal. So everybody did something in this lineup pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt. The Cy Young goes to Zach Wheeler. Wherever he is. There he is. 7 innings, a win, a bomb, 13 strikeouts, a 2.57 and an 0.71. And the Cy Young this week goes to Sandy Alcantara. 2 innings, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, a strikeout, a 27 and a 3. It was a horrible start.
Yeah, in Philadelphia, which makes sense, but yeah, that's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a 7.27 ERA right now.
Yeah. He's just been an absolute disaster to start the season, and perhaps a buy low opportunity for somebody sniffing around for a starting pitcher. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, coming into the year, we thought that this was going to be a nice bounce back from him. Still early, so who knows?
Yeah, still very early. Very early. For Ari on his bench this week, Christ, he went 33 for 90. That's a 367 batting average with 13 runs, 4 doubles, a triple that would have won the category, 6 homers that would have won the category, 19 RBIs, 4 steals, 6 walks, 13 strikeouts, and 2 errors that would have lost him the category had he gotten him in. The only ad he had was Shelby Miller, who had a clean inning in relief. And his MVP this week is Trevor Story or TJ Friedel. Which one is it?
Well, Trevor Story had 3 errors, which is
Gross.
yeah, but like he hit the cover off the ball. Uh, and TJ Friedel, like okay,
Yeah, he hit 500 for the week with a 615 on base and a stolen base, a triple, a double, and a run scored. Very nice.
yeah,
Very nice. The least valuable hitter goes to Adley Rutschman, although Julio Rodriguez was also bad with a 100 to 280. Adley 087 with a 192. I talked about him with Jay Ferraro today in the Ghost Runner episode. You guys should check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, Adley is just disappointing this year.
yeah. He's hitting just over 200, with only 7 RBIs. Like this is this is a guy we thought was we were ready for like a nice 30 home run 100 RBI kind of season,
Mhm.
and nowhere even close.
Not to be
Yeah.
so far. Ari Cy Young goes to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts and a win with an 0.71 whip. The Cy Young goes to Bibby Hodge or Green. I'm going to give it to Hunter Green. 3 innings, a loss, 3 bombs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a 15 and a 2.67 whip. Gross.
Oh, I will call out that Porter Hodge had another 2025 ERA.
Hey, there it is. But yeah, Hunter Green was pitching his ass off it coming into this start and just absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah. Well, look, in Baltimore, and then, the Reds turned it around and scored 24 runs on the Orioles. So I guess that's a bit of revenge.
A little bit of revenge. Frank, I think, is probably kicking himself after this one, going up 13-5 going in and then coming out with a 9-9 tie. I'm sure he's not happy.
Yeah, especially like, this again, like going in against Ari, you kind of feel like, you're looking for a win. Look, he only beat him by 2 relief appearances.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually something you can like slam dunk him on. Like so yeah, it probably wasn't his best outing of the year.
Yeah, but that's all right. Frank's still in this fight. He's gonna be a manager to contend with all year long, and I certainly hope that Ari can get it together and move up the rankings too. Because again, league's better when these guys are in the hunt, and I want Ari in the hunt too.
Yeah, he needs Adley and Julio to warm up.
Yeah. All right, we finished this episode with Bobby Russo and Brian Lebo. Lebo getting a 10-9 razor thin win this week. On Sunday, Lebo untied wins, losses, and relief appearances, and Bobby did tie saves. So, close categories this week. Lebo wins by an error, a win, a loss, and 3 relief appearances. Bobby wins by 2 triples and 2 home runs by a pitcher, and they tied in home runs and saves. For Lebo on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 17. It's a 235 batting average with 3 runs, a double, 3 RBIs, 4 walks, and a strikeout. None of it plays. None of it plays. His moves this week, he used 9 of them. Edward Bizzardo for a terrible relief appearance. Brant Herter, Alex Jacob for a win on Sunday. That's the win on Sunday, is Alec Jacob.
Yeah, who is this guy?
Some random reliever for San Diego, but he got the win on Sunday that got him that win.
Alec Jacob. Yeah, like I never would have even known that that person existed.
Yep. He added Richie Palacios, who was placed on the IL, so that's not good.
Yeah, he comes off it. He was been on the IL all season long with a finger. He got hit by a pitch in spring training, so he's been on the injured list all season long. He comes back, has a really good first day. So I'm like, yeah, I might look at him. Lebo scoops him up before I get a chance to. And during that one game back, he hurt his knee, and he's gonna be out for like 3 months.
Good God, this poor guy. He added Heston Kjerstad, who left the game in the 3rd inning after being hit by a pitch. He added Ryan McMahon, 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Brad Lord, who was not good against Colorado in Colorado. Added Jose Ferrer and Augustine Ramirez after the bell. I don't know who Augustine Ramirez is, but
He's the Marlins catching prospect. He might get some run here. He has tools.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. He's a carpenter. Um, The MVP this week for Lebo is Tatis, 375 with a 483 on base percentage, 9 runs, a triple, 4 homers, 7 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He was a monster this week.
I think he's good at baseball.
I think he's very good at baseball. The least valuable hitter is anybody who plays catcher on the team for Lebo. Gabriel Moreno did not record a hit, and Sal Perez hit 111 with a 172. Gross.
Yeah. So now he's carrying those 2 guys and Ramirez and Edgar Quero from the White Sox. So he's carrying 4 catchers.
4 catchers on this team.
2 of them have first base eligibility, but 4 catchers.
That's still insane. It's 3 too many.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Find someone who works and get rid of the rest.
Yeah. His Cy Young this week goes to Grant Holmes, wherever he is. 13 and a third, 2 wins, a homer, 6 walks, 11 strikeouts, a 270 and an 0.90. With a shout out to Sonny Gray, who pitched well this week as well with 13 innings and a win. The Cy Young goes to Martin Perez. I'm so glad it was you and not me, because it could have been me and not you. 3 innings, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, a 12, and a 233. It was him. It wasn't me.
And now he's on the 60-day IL. Like, nice to know you, Martin Perez.
Well, for Bobby on his bench this week, he goes 2 for 13. That's a 154 with a run, a bomb that would have won the category, an RBI, a steal, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. The only thing that plays is the homer.
Yeah. It was on Wednesday. He had Edmundo Sosa on the bench, and Jack Wilson was not in the lineup. Not sure if there was time to make that switch, but that would have been it.
He used 10 moves this week. Added Matt Mervis, Ryan Jeffers, Nick Martinez for a bad start against Seattle, Luke Raley with a 2-run homer, Tanner Banks, Will Warren, who was awful against Tampa Bay, Hunter Dobbins, who was good against the White Sox and then optioned back to AAA, Carlos Carrasco, who was bad in Tampa, and Jeffrey Springs, who was absolutely terrible in his start in Milwaukee. He also added Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, Jeffrey Springs, that poor guy. Like, it was another beatdown on Sunday. 14-1, the Brewers beat the A's that day. It's not good.
Yep, Logan Henderson with six beautiful innings.
Yeah, there you go. You were the benefactor of that one.
I was paying attention to that game. Bobby's MVP this week goes to Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore, really?
Yeah. He was awful the week before.
I said 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I don't even know why this guy is rostered. 474 with a 474 on base, 6 runs, a double, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 steals, and 5 strikeouts. He shut me the fuck up. The least valuable hitter goes to Logan O'Hoppe, 143 with a 200 on base and 7 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Bowden Francis. Okay, Bowden Francis, I see you. I don't see you, actually. That's why I'm looking and I'm stalling. There he is. 6 innings, a win, a homer, a walk, 5 strikeouts, a 150, and a 1. And the Cy Young does indeed go to Jeffrey Springs, who is horrible. He was just so bad. 2 1/3, a loss, a bomb, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, a 15-43, and a 386. He was awful.
Yeah. And they say he left with hamstring tightness or something like that, but I think he just left with I can't pitch.
with I can't pitch at all disease. Yeah. I don't know how to play baseball anymore disease. Jason, who's the manager of the week, my friend?
Is it not Henry Collins?
It's got to be Henry Collins, right?
It has to be Henry Collins. I mean, to put a whooping on you like that, and now has a spot up top. Yeah, it's Henry Collins.
It's got to be Henry Collins. Congratulations, Henry. We appreciate everything that you've done so far, and good job keeping the haters out of the top spot. Make sure you put some crushed red velvet all around the walls. That's a joke for only Henry and a few others that will get that. But the crushed red velvet definitely wallpapered.
Okay, I like red velvet.
All right, Jason. Thanks so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, always a pleasure, and we're a month into the season already.
Yeah, we are a month into the season after week 3 has commenced. We are in week 4, and it is going to be a wild ride. Now I have to go make a phone call and break bad news to Frank that he's not getting Torkelson.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, Frank. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching and listening. It's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.